Oh, I'm muted. I've been muted the whole time. Okay, we're almost. There's going to be one more play, and then we'll give our halftime report. Okay, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're almost there. There's 15 seconds left. It is 3rd and goal. 14-28. Let's see if USC can put some points on the board. I'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Boing! Missed it. Missed it on the doink. Missed it on the doink. Hold on, 8 seconds left. Doink! What a doink. Right off the top. Okay, hold on. 2 more seconds, people. All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Let's get this thing rolling. I feel like I've kept you guys way too long. Let's make sure we get some things going here. All right, just gotta make sure we look good on the stream. Okay, look good, sound good. Okay, here we go. All right, so hello everybody. Welcome back to another stream. I was gonna give, because there's been a lot of talks and a lot of people have joked and they have called this Cupcake Week, because I didn't think about it, but yeah, no, that's a good guess and a good stereotype for this week, because I mean, yeah, you look at who all the top, SEC teams are playing this week. Nobody. They're playing. It's like, okay, all right. Alabama's playing who? Texas A&M is playing who? And so when you look at, like, even later tonight, like let's look at some of the games that could come a little bit later tonight, like some of the bigger games. And it's a big game, even though it has nothing to do with playoff implications. But like Utah and Kansas State, that's a bigger game. But like Tennessee's playing 3-7 Florida. I mean, this is a huge game, because this is going to have implications on, okay, who's going to go play Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game. But like Ohio State played the Rutgers, Georgia played Charlotte, Texas A&M played Stanford. The only two teams realistically that had, okay, you have a big matchup today. It was Oregon against USC, and then Missouri against Oklahoma. And I think the Missouri and Oklahoma game, man, that was a low-scoring game. Kind of fit the bill of how it's going to be an ugly win, and it's going to be tight, contested battle for the remainder of the schedule for Oklahoma to try to get into the college playoff. But we're not going to give a review. We're not going to give a review on that game just yet. We'll wait till later today. Let's keep it with USC and Oregon, and let's talk about the Ducks and the Trojans, and how right now we're sitting at 28-14, and kind of my personal thoughts and opinions on how this game started, how it's going, and where I think it could potentially go for the remainder of the game. Personally, looking at the game from like an objective standpoint, I thought, this is, I know we have realigned, and we are now we're now the Big Ten, but this has the makings of a classic Pac-12 game behind it. These games have happened before in the past, where USC, whether USC or Oregon, they're within contention and playoff talks, and then whether Bo Nix is getting the upset, whether Caleb Williams is getting the upset, like there has been in the past huge games. And so when it looked like, hey, this could be a game where USC comes in here and plays upset, it has all the makings, because there have been games where, a team that should not give Oregon a scare, like a Washington, like a Stanford, like Arizona, has in the past. And I mean, even earlier in this season, Indiana against Oregon, everybody looked at, okay, Oregon's probably going to win this game. They didn't end up winning it. Fernando Mendoza and the Indiana Hoosiers won it with their offensive pass attack. But let's look at some stats here when we talk about the first half. Some big stats. The one interception by Mayava. I think when you look at quarterback play, the quarterback that I think is doing a little bit better, I will give it to USC. I'll lean towards USC, but not because I think USC is better, but because what is starting to happen is Oregon's run defense is putting the Trojans in a box, and Mayava has to pass it. And so that's why we have an interception like this. This was a bad interception. I will put this one on the QB, because it's not like it was tipped and then intercepted or turned the other way. This was a bad interception because he threw it into triple coverage. And as we've seen from the momentum of how this game has swung, this all started after the kick return. And so, being down at that point, I believe it was, 21-14. You then start to force the ball a little bit where you shouldn't, force it in places it shouldn't be. And then look at what happens. Oregon takes that, and that's what they took that ball all the way down, punched it in the end zone to make it 28-14, and then, you know, we had the last second 2-minute drive by the Trojans that ended in a missed field goal that doinked off the upright, and so now we sit at 28-14. So I think Mayava is having a better day at Q, but Dante Moore, I would say, has been more efficient, just because, as we're seeing, Oregon's pass game is not, I mean, it is there. It has been there. I mean, Benson had that phenomenal catch down the sideline, even though it led to a penalty and him getting his ear chewed out on the sideline. The passing game has been there for the Ducks, but as you can see, like, Whittington's had a big game. Who else in the box score? Because they got three freaking running backs they can do and pop off at any time. But you look here, Davison has a touchdown. Bryce Boucher had a touchdown too. So Oregon taking a little bit out of Texas Tech's playbook and having their all-star linebacker coming in, running in for a touchdown. But yeah, Whittington's played good. Davison's played phenomenal. Where's James? James, am I thinking of? No, who am I thinking of? Maybe he's not here. Am I tripping? Where's number 27? He had a big run. Maybe his stats are getting fixed. Anyways. Where is? Okay, let's talk about kind of the progress of how this game has gone so far. I mean, right? Again, I think the punt return turned this game upside down a little bit, because what did impress me with how the first beginning of this game started was how USC decided to take the opening kickoff and have the ball first. And I think what was impressive by them is trusting in their offense to go down the field and score, which they did. And then at one point too, also, when it looked after Sadiq had another touchdown, because he's having a pretty big game too. He had his touchdown that made it 14-7. USC had that double pass where pitched it out to the running back, and then the running back threw it all the way down. Lemon ended up catching that one to make it 14-14. But yeah, after that, I would say after Johnson's punt return for the touchdown, I mean, we got stuff like, where is he? Jacoby. Oh yeah, Jacoby Lane. 71, okay, so 71 yards. He's not having a terrible game. But Jacoby Lane's got to wake up if USC wants to get back into this thing. Hines is having a huge game. And he's a freshman too, so that's pretty impressive. We'll see where the emotions of the remainder of this game go. Especially after the interception with, you know, we saw Jacoby Lane get caught up on the sideline over there. Let's see what happens. The other thing too that is kind of concerning with USC in just this game. Oh, I don't like this one probability. Look at this. So 6.3%. Ducks are sitting right now at a 93.7. But again, we've known this because we have seen games like this before in the past. This number means a jack shit. Like, this number doesn't mean anything, because what could happen here, and I'm not wishing it, and I'm not, you know, hey, speaking it into, this first drive, Dante Moore could come out here and throw a pick six. I mean, Notre Dame, because right now Notre Dame's sitting 56-0, which in fact, let me show you exactly how that game started and why it is 56-0. We go to the game cast here. Let me show you exactly how this game started. Okay, look at this. Intercepted. Punt return. Intercepted. So this thing started 21-0, and the Irish's offense hadn't touched the field yet. But then Jeremiah Love has his 45-yard touchdown run to make it 28. Price had a run for 58 to make it 35. I'm thinking, because there's a lot of talk on who's going to win the Heisman and where it should go and everything. I'm thinking if Notre Dame didn't split the carries between their two running backs, oh my gosh, Jeremiah Love has 3 touchdowns and oh dear. Oh, and there's the thunder. It's raining here a little bit. Well, this is going to help his case for winning the Heisman. Let me go to rushing. Jeremiah Love is 4th in rushing. Jeremiah Love is tied for 4th with Haynes King for touchdowns with 14. Kwan Lacey has 19. So I'm interested to see where they go with that. I'm interested to see where they go with that. Where if he's gonna get a Heisman nod, because they were talking about him getting nominated for a Heisman. Let's see here. It's hard though, and it's hard to compare it though against, look at this, Fernando Mendoza's 30. So we'll see. We will just have to see. All right, people. But I think we're gonna. Let me double check. I don't know if. Whoa. We're still on a commercial break. Still halftime. Let's talk about here we go. Oh, let's just talk about scores throughout the rest of the. Here we go. So we got USC. Okay, USC Oregon 14-28, 62. Hold on. They just took another pick 6 back. Nope, there's a flag. Okay, and then Vandy beating up on Kentucky. Wait, was this a pick 6? Yep. I don't know about that one, ref. I don't know about that one. That one didn't look too malicious. Look at this. K-State 31-21. I can see right here on the TV, but if I scroll down a little bit more. See? Dude, I'm telling you, K-State had everything in front of them to have a good season, yet they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball, they break my heart. That's what happened. Yeah, I had K-State against Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. Then we got Georgia and Pitt later today. I think this is going to be a big game. We might do a halftime report for this one. I don't know. Who else right now? Texas up, but not convincingly. 24-20. Started the third quarter there. I don't like this. I do not like this one bit. So Texas, after losing a tough one to Georgia last week, turn around and let a 2-win Arkansas team hang around 20-24. And when people argue and debate on, should Texas have been allowed in the playoff, this and that, yada yada, this is why teams from this is why the committee is like, I think we'll be okay, Because I'd rather see if USC can keep this one close and lose to Oregon by like a touchdown or something like that. Like if they can get back into this, make it 21-28, only lose by like a field goal or like, you know, garbage time touchdown by Oregon, okay, off of a USC turnover or whatever there at the end of the game. I'd rather watch that USC team go to the playoff and be the 11th team or the 10th team than Texas. Might be biting my tongue there. Utah. I think if Utah loses this one though, hold on. I think there are a couple clinching things here. If Utah loses this, I think it guarantees BYU to go. I might be wrong on this. Let me double check with the Big 12 standings. Yeah, because Utah's sitting here as the 3 team. If they drop to 5-3 in conference, I think it locks those 2 to go. Thanks, K-State. No, I want to see a rematch between BYU and Texas Tech. And then TCU and Houston. Oh my gosh, Houston, brother. This is exactly what happened a couple weeks ago when Houston was ranked and they went up against West Virginia. They played down to their opponent. I don't think TCU is a bad team though. Like, they have 6 wins. Obviously, they're a better team than Maryland. I'd argue and say K-State is a better team than TCU, but I mean, they're better than Arkansas, better than Kentucky. This is also the same Texas that struggled to beat Kentucky. Just saying. Hello, rushing touchdown by Texas. Okay, they make it 30-20. Okay, but I've rambled on too much because I think have we started the second half yet? We better. We better get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to hit that like button so you guys know where to come back. Be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna give a end of game review too on this one. Maybe a little bit later today because I want to give my own personal rankings and reactions to the rest of the games because this is the biggest game of the day. This and then the Oklahoma game were the biggest games of the day because I just have a feeling, I have a gut feeling that unless 1, 2, 3, 4, unless all 4 of the, well, you can throw Colorado in the mix too for an upset, but unless Pitt can get a solid win on the road, and then Florida, Wisconsin, and Cincinnati and Colorado can play upset, I don't know. Like, I don't know if these games will fit up to the billing of the USC game. But here we go. Here comes the kickoff. Boom. There we go. Straight out of the back of the end zone. They're going to fair catch it. But we're going to end the stream here, guys. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. Be sure to hit that like button on the way out. Let's check the polls. Check the polls on the way out. We had 10 votes. And out of 10 votes, we were split 50-50. Whoa. Hold on. Sorry, people. I hit the wrong button. Out of 10 votes, we were split right down the middle, 50-50. So we're split 50-50 on the Ducks and Trojans. Personally, I would like to see Oregon win this game. I think if Oregon can win this game, it just helps their case. They become huge Michigan fans next week for the rivalry game, for the game between Ohio State and Michigan. So I want to see, here's what I want to see personally. This is just me. If I were to make a solid prediction, I would want to see Oregon win this game against USC. And then next week, I love college football, and I love when stuff like this happens. But fumble! What did I just talk about? I just talked about. Oh, Sadiq literally ripped that right out of his hands? Oh my gosh, that was a fumble. That was a catch and a fumble. Boink. Well, in super slow mo, it didn't look like he made a football play to advance upfield. No, they're gonna call it an incomplete pass. Okay, never mind. Spoke way too soon. But the football chaos and stuff about like, okay, we need to see upsets. We need to see stuff like this and that. There's parts of me that want to see an Oregon win here, even though they went 3-0. Because the momentum of this game is going to shift tremendously if they go 3-0, offsides, defense. Damn it! But if they get a 3-0, and then the Trojans make it 21-28. But anyways, back to my thought though about college football. But we have Indiana securing. We have Indiana securing that number one overall seed, and like the number one, because they're already number one in the Big Ten right now, and so we'd have Indiana, and then with Ohio State losing to Michigan, and then Oregon winning here, Oregon would then leapfrog Ohio State. We'd have a rematch from a couple weeks ago. It just has the makings of that because it's a rivalry game. Michigan, with their 2 losses, they don't care that Ohio State's undefeated and coming to their place. So that's what I would like to see. But a lot of stuff has to happen. Oregon's got to close this game out. They got to win, and then Wolverines got to play upset next week. Because at that point, I do think if Oregon does that, maybe because wasn't that what it was going to be last year as well, where Oregon was going to play Ohio State in the Big Ten, but then Ohio State lost to Michigan. Yada, yada. You know the story. Anyways, that's all I've got to leave. Thank you for your votes in the polls, guys. Let me know who you got winning. This was a fun stream. Be sure to hit that like button on the way out. And I will see you guys in another stream where I give my thoughts and reactions to college football today. So, see you in the next one.